If you are not subscribed, please help me build this platform, one of many in independent media. The bigger we are, the harder we're going to be to mess with, to take down, to stifle and squelch our voice. And you can be a part of that by it's free, just subscribe. I would appreciate it very much. One of the most important stories of the week has been a series of stories, actually, and this is the threat to United States citizens. If they can remove resistance elements, if the government and these fascists and Donald Trump can remove the voices that are advocating for those that are voiceless, it's going to be an easier job to fundamentally change and alter our culture, our country. And that's what they're trying to do, up to and including detaining American citizens. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, ICE, the jackbooted armed agents of the state, are detaining American citizens, but also, as an operation of harassment, are sending letters, emails in this case, to American citizens telling them to self-deport. This first, telling them to leave the country immediately. This first one is Lisa Anderson. She's a U.S. citizen born in Pennsylvania. Listen, you're going to hear a lot of people talk about the difference between documented immigrants, undocumented immigrants, naturalized citizens, American-born citizens. None of this matters, but it should matter to conservatives. It should matter to conservatives who talk about American citizenship being something special, something magical even, that we are imbued from God with American citizenship. That's why we are better, we are special, we are different, because we're Americans. Unless you don't align with your politics with Donald Trump and his fascist agenda for the country, then your citizenship is meaningless. So much so that we'll send you emails telling you to get out of the country immediately under the guise and the power of the United States government. This is a big deal. I got a clip here from NBC talking about this doctor, this American-born doctor, who is now seeking an immigration lawyer to ensure that she's not deported. An American doesn't need an immigration lawyer to ensure that they're not deported. If they can do it to a random doctor in Pennsylvania, they can certainly do it to you. They could certainly do it to me. They can certainly do it to anybody who's an opponent of Donald Trump. And they want to do this kind of shit with no due process, as we've witnessed over the course of the past several weeks. Here's this clip from NBC about Lisa Anderson. Watch this.
It's time for you to leave the United States. That's the first sentence Lisa Anderson saw in an email she got from the Department of Homeland Security Friday.
The language seems pretty threatening to whoever it might actually apply to.
She thought it was spam at first, but the email was very real after Anderson had it vetted. What created confusion is that Anderson, who's a physician and lives in Cromwell, was born in Pennsylvania and is a U.S. citizen.
I really have no idea how my email ended up on that list unless someone else was using that as a false email.
She now carries her passport on the advice of attorneys and is looking for representation from an actual immigration attorney worried about legal repercussions, something she never thought she would ever need.
I don't have anything to do with immigration, and I never thought that I would be needed the services of an immigration attorney either, and that's where I find myself.
This comes just days after two Boston immigration attorneys got the same email from DHS despite being U.S. citizens themselves. A senior DHS official telling our sister station, NBC Boston, that Customs and Border Protection has been sending these emails to people who do not have lawful status in the U.S., saying, quote, if a non-personal email, such as an American citizen contact, was provided by the alien, notices may have been sent to unintended recipients. CBP is monitoring communications and will address any issues on a case-by-case basis. Anderson is warning anyone who may have gotten the emails to take them seriously and get legal help.
It does make me concerned that there's a lot more people out there like me who probably also thought this was spam, who probably don't realize that they might have a problem.
She's reaching out to an immigration attorney. Something she'd never imagined she'd ever have to do as a U.S. citizen. Something none of us would have to imagine we'd have to do as U.S. citizens. Why would I have need? Why would you have need? Why would Lisa Anderson have need for an immigration attorney within the borders of the country she was born in? The quote, "It does make me concerned. There are a lot more people out there like me who probably also thought this was spam, who probably didn't realize I have a problem," she said. If she's not safe, we're not safe. Donald Trump is trying to fundamentally, structurally change the demographic makeup of this country, removing both ethnicities he doesn't want here, religions he doesn't want here, but also ideologies, political opinions that he doesn't want here. This was a US-born citizen, but it's also happening to naturalized citizens, and in this case, an immigration lawyer in Massachusetts.
Hey, Eddie, imagine getting an email over the weekend to tell you to leave the country immediately. That happened to a lot of folks across Boston. Not only people moving through the immigration process, but U.S. citizens as well.
I know that it didn't pertain to me because I'm a U.S. citizen.
Carmen Bello is talking about the notice she got this weekend from the Department of Homeland Security, stating boldly in the email, "It's time for you to leave the United States."
I believe it's a scare tactic. I know that psychologically, just seeing a letter like this saying you have to leave the country because you're here legally.
Bello has been a U.S. citizen for decades after coming here from the Dominican Republic. Today, she's been trying to calm down her clients as they're trying to figure out their next move in the immigration process. You're as American as apple pie.
I am. Yes, I've been here my whole life.
And it's not just immigrants getting notices. Attorney Nicole Micciarone has a U.S. passport, birth certificate, and driver's license to prove her citizenship, and she got the same message. Do not attempt to remain in the United States. The federal government will find you. Please depart the United States immediately. Immigration attorneys like Bello and Micciarone now understand why they're getting these emails.
Administration is not paying attention when they're sending these emails because they are just sending to anyone that has an email in any of the paroles application. That's how I figure out that's the way they're doing it.
So we reached out to DHS to get an idea of the process of how these emails going out, and attorney Carmen Bello was right. DHS has admitted that some of these emails have gone to unintended recipients, and that has caused massive confusion.
Look, I think back a few months, maybe a month ago, when I did the video talking about the threats to people who are going to oppose ICE, and they're threatening imprisonment, they're threatening investigation. And I said boldly, I don't know how bold it was, "F ICE, f you, ICE, f you, Kristi Noem, f you, Donald Trump." I said it a million times. Well, not a million, I said it a lot of times. Not afraid, unafraid. I'm an American. I served my country in the United States Marine Corps. I swore an oath, a solemn vow to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, Those domestic threats are here now. They're not in some distant dystopian worldview. They are here now. They are attempting to harass and remove American citizens from the country that they were born in, that they have naturalized to. They are attacking lawyers and doctors. It's time to rise up, to lift your voice and to support those who don't have a voice, to share stories like this, to talk about this, to not let this story die. It's beyond time for that. What do you think? Are we going to get this done? I hope so. Comment below. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. You can also email me, daily@dollemore.com. I would appreciate your participation in this conversation. If you want to help support this work, produce this work, make this channel grow, please, one, it's free, subscribe. But if you want to help monetarily, $2 a month is all it takes. Click the join button below, become a channel member. And you can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. We also have a website. You can buy some stickers, a mug, a t-shirt, a tote. There's all kinds of stuff there. We published a children's book that is all about gratitude. It's fantastic. It's called The Grateful Child. You can get that on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and Walmart, everywhere, but also right on the website, Dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. We are in tenuous times, and it's these times, most importantly, that we're going to need to stick together. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.